Squeegee and Ink Podcast, episode 18, with Alex from Disc Prints. Thank you for coming on, Alex. How's your week been and stuff?
Not too bad, thanks. It was slightly stressful because I've been trying to learn to print on new stuff, but yeah, no, it's just been educational.
What kind of things have you figured out with the new inks and?
So I was learning to print on a skateboard today and which inks would work well there. I ended up just using some speedball today, which
really, yeah,
it kind of worked, but I'm not sure if it will be the right one.
Well, maybe. Is it just literally the raw wood? It's not like
no, it's got the varnish on it already. Well, what I printed on today didn't, but if I'm trying to do it as a product, it will already have this varnish on it.
Yeah.
So I've got to try it with that. Otherwise, it's try and get to these NASDAR inks.
Yeah, exactly. So I've done a little bit of printing on wood and trying to varnish it later with water-based printed ink.
Yeah.
And when you're putting on the varnish, if you put it on with a brush, you kind of just break down the water-based ink and you can smudge it everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I have to rack my brains on what the spray was. You can get spray varnish.
It's like a lacquer or something, isn't it?
Yeah, so that eliminates that whole situation of it being just literally making a beautiful print and then you just
smearing it
slowly, gently smear it off. Yeah, I've got some IKEA tables and things that I'm literally looking at them now that we printed.
Oh, nice.
So are you printing on just the flat bit of the deck, or are you managing to?
Well, yeah, I had this conversation with a few sort of suppliers and screen specialists and stuff like that recently, where that middle bit might be flat, sort of, but it does have a curve on it as well. And I was trying to talk to Alan at Pyramid today, asking him whether he could make me a screen that has a lower tension, so it can go round this curve.
Yeah.
Which he seemed to know what he was talking about there. He said, "Oh yeah, I would do that at 12 newtons instead of 25 or whatever he normally does." But then I tried it with a normal screen today and it seemed to work, so I might try and just not do that. But
yeah, I've seen people even round their squeegee blade.
Yeah, I cut the handle up. That was the hack, apparently. So you've got
the handle shorter than the blade.
No, so
no,
it's same length handle, but you put it into thirds. And then
you have to show me, Alex. Have you got it there?
Yeah, I'll grab it. So
okay, and then you're using
the handle, and it's.
Oh my god, that is so clever!
Yeah, it's that seems to be the way. I've seen.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it kind of
one giant blade. That's really clever.
You sort of have to put your fingers there on it to keep it right, but it did the job nicely, and I didn't have to spend $250 or whatever it was on a curved squeegee.
Yeah, God, that's really smart. I wouldn't have thought of that. I'd have just been messing with the blade for ages.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd have ever thought of it, but YouTube for you.
Yeah, nice. That could be your shop hack, unless you've got any other shop hacks.
Well, I've only got one other, I think, which isn't necessarily a hack, so I'll use that one again later.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, I designed this as well. This is called the disc. So have you just used your name? Yeah.
Yeah.
You just changed your name as the print studio.
I thought long and hard, and it was like disc prints for now, something better later, and then it was just actually disc prints will do.
Yeah. No, I think it makes sense, and it sounds cool because this is a really I've never heard of that as a surname before, but yeah.
It is a town somewhere. I can't remember where it is. Norfolk, maybe. I can't remember.
Yeah. Not offensively, but disc when I was a kid meant you're being disrespectful.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
I've heard them all. Everything that you could put disc with, someone's called it to me.
Because our surname was Rosier at school, so we used to call. There's loads of us as well. So at school we always used to be called like the Rosy Bums,
Nice.
or just loads of weird shit, but mainly Rosy Bums. Like, oh, anyway, yeah. If you're not embarrassed by your name, your parents.
My current, well, most people call me Disappointment these days.
Oh, that's a sad one. You're not Disappointment. You've got your own business, and then you're telling me before I didn't record about your new space. Can you talk about like where it is, and like you moved in with a mate who's setting up a brewery? Like, what's that like?
So he's basically his family live on this farm, and they have done always, and they're just basically converting most of this farm now off from actual farming and just going to use the barns as units and stuff. And he's created his own brewery, which it seems to be doing incredibly well at the moment. And he just sort of said, oh, do you want to get out of that horrible little shipping container space you've got and create your own studio? Of course, yes, please.
That's brilliant. Yeah, and you're just going to keep decorating with all these decks that you're printing, I suppose.
Absolutely, yeah.
This is a big thing that I wanted to ask you about. I thought it's really clever, and it's something that I think lots of other studios could do. Not that they want to just copy you, but it's the print of the month thing. Like, yes, because you're kind of like you're kind of a brand yourself, where you're like commissioning artists and you print for other people. Like, how did you come up with that, and how does that
desperation
on your toes? Yeah,
it
necessity.
Was,
then that's fine.
Yeah, it was. I know all these cool artists, all these people doing cool stuff, but they're struggling artists. They can't afford to fork out 300-400 quid for a few t-shirts and hoodies or whatever. So I sort of, and I've seen, I think it's Everpress do something of a similar build up where it's a pre-sale basically. They, I think they approach artists as well and say, do this, but they do it all the time. Mine's just sort of like a monthly thing. Just say, look, we'll design a t-shirt and we'll make a mock-up and sell as many as we can online, and we'll just print those. So the customer's paying for the whole job basically in the end. The artist gets their work out, I get a bit of work in the door, and we make some cool stuff.
Exactly, you get loads of fresh content and keeps you consistent. I think it's bloody brilliant idea, actually. Yeah, especially if you've got that kind of pool of talent to kind of go from.
That's it. Yeah, it just my Instagram was just full of people I know doing cool stuff. It's like, we need to put that on a t-shirt, come on.
Yeah, exactly. So how are you selling it? Are you just doing it through Instagram, or have you got
my website? Yeah, my website's got a small shop, and it's usually only ever got no more than 2 items on there, one being the print of the month and maybe something else left over. So it brings traffic to my website as well, which was kind of the idea. It's like, even if we don't sell loads, people have probably gone on my website and see that I can print for them. So
yeah, and also you're probably sharing the artist's social medias, like they're kind of following each month, so you're like opening yourselves up to another little following.
That's it, a new audience every time.
Yeah, no, that's really, really smart. Who's on this month? Have you done this month yet?
So I sort of lagged because my friend Harry had an art show, and he was print of the month last month, and then I did loads of art prints for him and some more t-shirts, and forgot we were doing print of the month, sort of, and then it extended over to 2 weeks into this month. So
Harry sucked up the whole 6
pretty much
section,
which is fine because he pretty much paid my rent this month as well. So
oh, that's cool.
And then next month is a local guy to me who's I've just seen loads of his stuff, and I've printed quite a few bits of his stuff that he's drawn for other people before, who have then come to me to get it printed. So I just asked him, and he's drawn like it's a skateboarder / thank you NHS t-shirt.
Oh right, okay.
So we're gonna donate some money to NHS with that as well, and
nice.
Go for that. Yeah. Perfect.
I was gonna ask who makes the decisions on what garments you're doing, and do you tend to just I don't know, because if they're skater boys, don't they want
like
the oversight, exactly what you're wearing there. Like.
It's an odd one. I struggle with it because it's the everlasting battle of quality versus price, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm pushing these AS color ones like no end because they're just a joy to print on and they feel great. Like, and that's what most of my stuff's on at the moment. I've got one guy that I print for who swears by Russell, so we go with Russell. And then occasionally there's someone who just wants cheap and we do Gildan because otherwise they go elsewhere, basically.
I know. So, like, I'm not trying to be silly. Is AS Color, when I first found them, you had to go direct to AS Color, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still have to go direct to them?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
I don't know if they distribute through anyone else, but I've always gone straight through them. And
they might have been sucked up by a big wholesaler or something recently, maybe. But I know they still do their own stuff.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah. When you go on their website, it's kind of like they're treating themselves like the end brand as well.
Yeah, because you've got two different prices going on.
Yeah, and it's like, 6 shirts for 50 quid. And I'm like, no, I want...
but if you get the account, you get the account, then it goes to normal, like what the prices you're expecting.
Oh, I see. I don't think I went in enough. I think them being separate from my normal wholesalers, I kind of went, oh, that's too difficult. I can't be dealing with it.
Absolutely.
I sound really lazy now, but
no, it's like, they've got t-shirts that when you just go on the website, I think they're like £18. Create an account and they're suddenly £3. So it's like it's a lot better that way,
Yeah, I just don't think I've investigated it enough. They always have a good stall at Printwear, so I'll have a mosey on and have a look this month. You going Printwear?
I'm not. No, I can't. I couldn't justify the journey.
Where are you as well? Like I couldn't figure that out.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. But
now, Alex, where are you?
Right now, I'm in Hertfordshire, but sort of near Cambridge, basically.
Yeah, that's not too far from us. We're just in Berkshire. So you can't, there's a trunk. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Is it that you don't drive, or is it?
No, I do drive, but it's a lot. It's money, isn't it? It's fuel's expensive, you know.
It's okay. There's so many printers going.
I know.
I feel like they're like getting rides and staying in Airbnbs together or something. They're getting really chummy. You need to
since you did your podcast with Doggles, I've been chatting with him the whole storm, and he's been going, "Come on, we go. I'll see you there. And it was today. I was like, I'm not going to make it for it. I'm sorry.
Oh, he was trying to pull you along with his little crew. I know. Have you got a Doggle shirt, or are you not in that thing? You haven't got your Doggle shirt.
Right here.
Oh, so funny. I've got mine as well. It's not on me, right? It's in my studio, but I have worn it a few times.
I was stoked on that.
He's such a character. I like that he just like chats to anyone, doesn't he?
Yeah, literally.
Oh, he's so funny.
And then he appeared in that Facebook group that you mentioned earlier, and started talking to me on there. And I didn't make the connection till he messaged me on Instagram. I was like, we're talking on Facebook now.
We're Facebook buddies. Yeah. Who do you talk to on Facebook? Like, literally the only people I talk to on Facebook are screen printers.
Yeah, same. I think the reason I've still got Facebook is because of screen printing groups on Facebook.
Exactly.
I need someone to answer a question quick. Let's go.
Come on, guys, I'm not answering quick enough. I know. You're like, I'm literally dying here and the postman's coming. Such a stressful job. Why do we do this? There's been so many occasions where I've had to like do completely abstract shit. Like I had to drive all the way to Brighton once with a piece of acetate, like an A3 piece of acetate, just to hand it to this guy so that he could make his deadline. I'm like, what am I doing? Like,
I hope you charged well for that.
I didn't, because I was a mug and I didn't have very good, lead times on my website now. But I don't know. It's like this obligation where you feel like you have to like satisfy all these customers.
Oh yeah. If this guy's not happy, then it's all over. That's it. Right?
It's probably even harder for you because you put your actual name in your business name. So it's like normal people who have this over the top connection to their businesses, like their identity is their business. And
Yeah.
you've actually done it as like your name is your business. It's like even harder. But
I hadn't
anyway,
thought about that.
sorry, Alex, you can't do anything about it now. Oh, that's really funny. So like, have you had any jobs where you've done a big like cock up or anything like that? Like, what kind of things have you? I can tell you some from me as well to soften the blow.
Luckily, not for myself, not as disc prints, but when I was working in my first job at this big place, we were doing tens of thousand t-shirts for the Guinness Lager Hop 13, for all the Wetherspoons people to be wearing that as their uniform. And it was my first summer there, and it was stinking hot, and there was a nice leak in our red screen that I didn't notice for well over 2,000 t-shirts.
Oh my god.
And I had to come in early every morning and spot blast this leak out for an entire week, and then from about 6 till 8:30 every morning I was spot blasting these out, and then it was back on the press to be taking them off the press again. Like,
oh, that sounds vomit.
Oh, it was horrible.
I haven't even got one of those blaster things.
Have you? How? I live off that thing.
I just don't have it. I just don't have it. I don't know what to say. I just kind of like, I think Em is so exact with who I print with, that we're not allowed to make fuck ups, so we don't. Nice.
I like it.
It's so like, we buy 20 shirts, we print 20 shirts exactly.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. Yeah, my cock ups have been like, I can show you. This didn't go out or anything, but this is something I caught. So I try and find. I'm not going to find it because it'll take me too long.
Yeah,
but it's very easy to do things like. Have you ever printed on polyester and then it looks fine, and then you come back to it and it's completely wrong?
Oh yeah, the dye migration. Yeah.
Oh my god, I did that, and I've just done loads of polyester shirts for my brother. He picked black polyester, and it was like this new recycled tri-dye one, and I was like, let's just put it through. And I was doing like light color on it, like cream. So I put it in, and it was just a tiny bit too hot, but it looked fine. I was like, it's possible.
Yeah.
And I just made myself a coffee. He came back, and it was like death grey, and I was like, that could have been 20 shirts easily within the time when it like just dies slowly in the press. But I have given out dye migration tops before. I admit it.
I've seen that at this place I used to work. It was a load of running tops, just a white print on them, and it was white when we left that night.
Yeah.
Got the next day, and they'd all gone red from the orange t-shirt underneath or whatever it was. Yeah. It was like, oh no, someone's used the wrong ink.
Yeah, no, it's like there's so like you get it at like 165, fine, and then if you hit like 170, then that's it. That's like set off this chemical reaction that's just gonna fuck up your day. But that's like, I think it's like part of the fun of it. I feel like we're just like,
keeps you on your toes, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's kind of like the people who like getting tattooed. It's like we don't mind the pain, because I don't know, like the pleasure side of it. Like you do get to print some nice stuff at the end. I don't know. I think we're all a bit sick because we're in a crazy ass industry and stuff. So you said you were quite self-taught kind of.
Yeah.
Like, who did you go to for like resources? Were you looking at YouTube, or is it forums that really helped you out, or
first starting? I don't necessarily, there wasn't much. I spent a very, very long time not exposing screens properly, and this, that, and the other, and ruining my parents' bath because I was trying to wash screens out in there, and there's still emulsion on the tiles now. Like, I ended up sort of one of two places. I can't remember which came first, but I found an open access studio for sort of like art prints there. And I was going there, but I was still not getting it right. I didn't know what it was. And then I spoke to a good friend of mine who is a screen printer, And she was like, oh yeah, I'll talk you through it. So first of all, you've got to degrease your screens. I was like, oh, okay.
What's that? Washing up liquid?
Step one, I've already failed at step one. Okay. So yeah, my friend Lily, she's great, and she just talked me through it, and then that was it. It was like, that makes sense, and then sort of went from there. And then again, so then I was like, all right, I've got this now. Started printing, and then I was with Plastisol, and why isn't this air drying? I've left these out all night and they're still wet. Like, what's going on? Yeah, so, and I don't know why I didn't sort of, I'm sure there probably was plenty of YouTube going on about then, you know, like Ryanette or Cat Spit or anything, but I don't know, I hate YouTube tutorials. So I want to ask questions.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Like there's so many different learners. That's like, we're trying to make content, but like there are people who just want it all written down and they follow it like a little formula. So then we've got to make like written version over here, and then there's people who want literally over you with the video camera ones. Yeah. And then there's people who don't like I'm like, I've got a YouTube video of this spelling it out, the exact problem that you've had, and they're like, oh, can you just talk me through it? Like,
yeah, can you just tell me though? I don't want to watch your video.
This is why I've done the videos. But yeah, a lot of people call us up for troubleshooting, and it's often when they're stressed out of their mind. And they're on the press, and they're like, oh, I'm just going to put you on FaceTime. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, look at this mess, fix it.
Yeah, but often you can, because most of the time it's something quite silly.
And it's probably something you've gone through before as well. Like.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much crossover though, but I know that you do like art prints and like you do art. Yeah, I was going to ask you that. You haven't really got like a flatbed press or anything like that.
Not at all.
You do art prints on the carousel.
If they're small enough, otherwise it's like some hinge clamps on a.
Oh, you do hinge clamps, yeah.
Yeah. But if it's an A4 print, I'll just put it on the carousel. It's just sort of, it's there, ready to go.
So like, if it's multicolored, do you like put it on print?
No, I don't reg up like that. I still do it as if it was the hinge clamps and sort of
okay.
take
So
them away.
All the blacks, then all the reds.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because someone was saying on one of those forums recently that they do skateboards on the cruiser, and I was like, how are you doing this? Like, they're making their own special jigs and things.
Yeah, well, with the skateboards, you're kind of blessed in a sense that they've got the holes where you'd attach the trucks to, so you just have pins, so the board goes down in the same place every time. If you put some pins in your jigs to go through this hole, then it's, you can pick it up, put it back down, and it's in exactly the same place. So yeah, you're quite blessed in that sense, but cursed in other ways for that.
When you're doing all that research into the skateboards, I've done it a few times for people, like I've researched it for them. Like when they're asking me, oh, can you expose this screen? And I've seen the screen that the people who just do skateboards do, and it like follows the profile of it, and I'm like,
that's insane.
I could take the mesh off. No, I could expose it flat.
Expose a mesh for you to put on, for someone else to put on the frame or whatever.
Yeah, like I've done that before where I've cut the mesh. I've cut the mesh off, rolled it, and gone, good luck with that. I don't know how that's gonna go.
I can't imagine that one. I have no idea how they do that.
Yeah, exactly. But when people are trying to be innovative and trying to just solve the bloody problem, they'll think of things like that, and I'm like, okay, that's
good luck.
Yeah. I mean, I've made screens that are bigger than me out of just bits of wood around the yard. Like
stretched them yourself, yeah.
Stretched is over.
Stretch is a stretch.
Stretch is a stretch, Alex. This is like, we like stapled them on 4 1 bits of wood and exposed it. Again, that was another thing that we had to just rip the mesh off and send it to someone.
That's
I
insane.
wonder what people are doing with these.
Yeah, I don't. You're going to end up distorting that, aren't you? Like trying to put it back on a frame.
I know, but I think people like want to wrap it round things and just pull it really badly around.
Okay, yeah. Use it as a really dodgy stencil, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So are there any like artists that you want to work with soon that you're like working on to try and collaborate with? Or
Sort of. There's there is a yeah, back to skateboarding. There's this artist called French who does like some serious heavy metal style artwork.
Cool. Okay.
And he's done stuff for some of the biggest sort of skateboard brands in the world and stuff. But I've met him a few times and we're quite fairly friendly. So I'm waiting for that next time that we sort of bump into each other and just say, "Come on, give me some artwork. Let's go."
Yeah. Or at least on a skateboard. Oh my god, I'm so old. Skate park, you can actually bump into them and be like, "Oh, exactly. Sorry, mate."
Yeah.
Like, oh,
and I've had
nice
closer friends go, "Oh, I saw this guy. I saw French the other day. We had a little chat about you." And I was like, "Yes, he's aware of me. Let's go."
I'm in. This is like real world, but like how people on LinkedIn do it. They're like,
yeah, exactly.
Nudge.
Yeah.
Try and work
real life networking.
I don't even know what that is anymore. Oh my god, yeah, people trying to network me on the internet, and just like I can see it a million miles away. Why are you trying to network me anyway? I don't have any. I don't want to be your friend.
Absolutely.
Like I want to be friends with like other screen printers, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
I don't want a consulting executive on marketing or some bullshit. You can stay over there.
Do you get many people trying to offer you get your name on the first page of Google?
Oh yeah.
I've only just started getting that this week even, and they are the schmooziest people I've ever seen. Like just the first email, like, "Oh, we love what you're doing." It's like, no, leave me alone.
I know, and it's all copy paste. I've got one which is one that you can't get rid of, because what they do is they use your contact form on your website.
Oh,
so
right.
you can't block them, because then you block all contact from your website.
Oh, like, okay, you'd have to get rid of that. Yeah,
I hope someone thinks, "Oh no, Chessie, actually you just work around it like this in the back end." Like I really beg for that. His name's like Eric Jones, and he's famous on the internet for spamming businesses.
Oh, no.
I get like 5 a day from him and I cannot block it.
Yeah, he's got you there, isn't he, through the contacts. I'm like, maybe I'll get rid of the contacts on mine.
Yeah, exactly. But with that spamming thing, if you are a single man especially, you'll be fine, because all the digitizers are apparently young women. They're all like sexy young women, aren't they? They're just like, "Oh, hey there, do you need some digitizing on your embroidery?"
You get to see my face whilst I do it.
Yeah, it's like, you are definitely not a supermodel 20-year-old woman in a basement doing my digitizing.
It's a 40-year-old man somewhere in Asia, most likely.
Exactly. in a kind of like digitizing farm, I kind of think about it. I think like a hen house, like a factory farm. The digitizers all doing.
Yeah, they're all in the same room, aren't they? Yeah.
I think they are. They got like 20 different business names or something. Oh my god, those buggers! But you need them at the same time. Have you got like?
Digitizing, no, because I haven't ventured into the embroidery.
They're always vectorizers as well, but I do actually have a vectorizer, and he is the tits. He saves me all the time.
And has he got competitive prices?
Yeah, and
nice.
So yeah, my guy his name's KK. I don't know if that's his real name, because it's so good they named him twice. KK works like any time of the day. Not that I try and make him. I'm always like, "Take your time." And he's like, 10 minutes later, here you go. Nice, but you can send him some absolute shocking shit, and he'll just completely just redo it for you. I
never want to touch that. I don't like retouching and trying to make someone's line right or whatever. If I can't do it simply, I usually just send it back to them and just say, "Look, come back with a better one."
Yeah, but do they know how to do that? Because I find like tattooists are really difficult to work with, because they draw in a low resolution on an iPad, and then
Procreate is my biggest enemy.
So you just keep pushing it back to them until they get it right.
Yeah, well, I found a couple of YouTube tutorials of how to up the DPI on Procreate. So I just say, here you go, do that.
Oh, you're teaching them how to make the resolution better.
Yeah, I say,
before.
give this. Well, no, I hope that they've done it already. And if it comes to me and it's really low, I say, you know, I send them this video and say, can you just give this a go? And then they usually come back and it's 300 DPI and 22 meters wide, and I'm like, perfect.
Thanks. We transfer 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I know it's so hard to like communicate all this stuff to people, but yeah, I'm even tired of doing that bit. Now I just send it to KK. It's like $3. I get charged at the end of the month. Yeah.
That's
every so often. I
tried to get one on Fiverr and he instantly tried to charge me more than a $5, so I was like, not having it.
That's not what the Fiverr is.
No,
Fiverr isn't everything's £5. I think that's how they get you though. Like how they.
That is what I thought it was when I went there.
Yeah, that's not £5. It's really funny. I really like that. Yeah, when you find your own little vectorizer, then they are gold dust. But yeah,
I think that's the key, is to have a regular one.
Yeah,
but it's not been too much of an issue recently. I mean, a lot of my customers are returning customers. That's something I sort of struggle with, is new ones. But all the returning ones have, you know, sort of learned now. They go, oh, okay, he needs it as big as possible, and this, that, and the other, and separate layers. They're even doing that now. It's great.
Bloody hell, they're doing their own steps. Separations. I've started using it might even be out when this one goes out, but I'm using like Accurate now. No, Accurate is the RIP software. I'm using like Separation Studio.
I've heard of it, yeah.
I think they do a free trial, but I put in like 6 color artwork, and it just loads for a minute, and then it's done, and you're like, oh my god, how many hours of my life have I wasted on this?
Is that its own separate program, or is it an add-on to Adobe or something?
It's nothing to do with Adobe. It's been like being developed since like the 80s. Like I was on a call like this to Charlie, who basically has been developing it in the background, and he's one of the support people, and he's just developed it exactly like precisely for screen printers. And it works with all the RIP software.
Perfect.
I know.
Do you know how much it sort of roughly is when you? Is it a subscription or?
It's a subscription. It might renew after a few years. I think there's different models for it. Like you can buy it for a year. Or mine's bundled in with my RIP software, and I'm on a different RIP software to everyone else now because I'm on an old one. Because I've got a massive printer, and they like haven't figured out the new RIP software for that yet. But yeah, I'll let you know in on the forum or something like how much it costs. But there's been times where I've been there for days on Photoshop, like trying to do very, very mentally difficult things, like skin tone, and then like white background, and then on 2 different background shirts. And you think, I'll just swap the bottom layer out, and it's not that at all. It's full hell.
I've not even attempted that. It would be the same print on every shirt, I think, at the moment for me anyway.
Actually, someone who's really good at YouTube for those kind of things, his name is Mikey Designs.
I have come across that,
yeah.
I can't think why. Well, probably trying to do something like that, but that name rings a bell for sure.
He seems to be dominating that kind of like area of tutorials at the moment. So he does like these live separation videos. I'd be like, shitting it if I had to do one of those, but if I get good enough on this separation studio, I'll do a couple. So what was your shop hack? Are you still sticking to the Squeegee?
If it's not the Squeegee, it's just get wipeable surfaces if you're building a studio. Wipeable surfaces are the best things. Oh, that's my really goodness. So my old one was all wood top, and it's just, you can't get ink off wood if it's on there, like plastisol or whatever. It's just there forever. And then when I set up this place, I bought a load of stainless steel tables, and it's the best investment so far.
So do you actually like mix your inks on the stainless steel tables as well? I've seen people do that.
I do that in a pot, yeah.
Okay.
Although I saw Doggos does it on glass.
Yeah, I know, that's super fancy. That's like an oil painter or something. I think that's a thing, because we were talking about that the other day, because you can't really, when you're mixing the Pantone and you put it on the shelf, you've still got that like unmixed half a mil all the way around. It looks shit. But if you were to mix it on the glass, then whack it in the pot, then it all looks beautiful. Yeah,
you're putting in a fully mixed thing into the pot. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. But I just feel, I'm sure you've probably guessed now, I'm messy. So like, I think that will go everywhere. Like,
yeah, I've only got a little like IKEA trolley for my stuff, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna stainless steel table, big whack of glass, and like special spatula.
See how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Make a thing a bit more. But that's the thing, when we're like, we've both got like these spaces that we're kind of growing and learning into. They're not like purpose built with hindsight of like the best practices for everything. So
absolutely. I'm so happy for purpose built now.
Yeah. So like what bit of kit or something would you want? Are you like saving up or looking up for anything in particular, or you pretty sorted?
I mean, yeah, I could keep going. I very foolishly, I bought a load of stuff from a guy up in Scotland he was closing down, and I went and bought all his screen printing equipment. And then whilst I was there, he was like, "Oh, I've got all this sublimation stuff here. Do you want this as well?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "If you're giving it to me, I'll take it." And then it sat there for ages. And it was only this week I started to use it, and it was perfect. I was like, "Wow, this is really easy." As soon as I took an order, it's all packed up. So I think the next bit of equipment might be a small sublimation printer. See how it goes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. But are you doing it on t-shirts, or are you doing
no.
God, doing it on bottles and mugs, or
mugs? Yeah, mugs and anything that can't screen print, basically. Yeah.
Okay. I like the supplement. I've done the sublimation thing, and I've even done trade shows where people come up to me and say their name, and then I put it on a mug. Like I've like been in this horrendous stressful situation where there's 10 people going, "What are you doing?" Yes, I'll spell your Asian name
it's with a
on
C,
a mug.
not a K. No.
Yeah, I'm so dyslexic. This is the hardest thing. But yes, here you go. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, I had to throw mine away. I actually took glee in putting it in the skip and then just going.
I can see that happening for sure.
That is that. I think it was just ink blocking. It was.
And that's what's just happened to this one, yeah.
Yeah, because I can fix a lot of printers, but that one really got me. And I thought I could be delicate with it and just treat it nice, but I couldn't. I just had to.
No, and then you don't want to treat it delicate at all. You want to kick it. Yes.
There's a really funny YouTube video on how to fix an Epson T something, and the guy just pulls the print. He wheels it out because it's massive. He wheels it out into his yard, and then he gets a sledgehammer and he just fucking annihilates it in 10 minutes.
I was very much at that point yesterday. I was just, nothing was working, but I don't know. I saw that I could make mugs and got excited. So now I'm kind of thinking I want to do it. But
yeah, no, do it. I'm not trying to piss on it.
Oh, I was before.
It's I just hit that thing because I was like very much like, oh yeah, buy into this new technique because it could do this one job. Yeah. And then I was trying to offer it to people, but they're like, no, I don't need any more mugs, Jess. And I'm like, buy a mug, buy a canvas mug.
It's printers is the problem, is because with screen printing, if something goes wrong, there's a reason.
Yeah.
If the printer goes wrong, there's not a reason. It's just doing it. So.
Oh no! And then burning them on the. Okay, let's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't done that yet.
You haven't burnt it yet. No.
No. Okay. I did burn my laptop the other day under the flash though.
Shit. Oh yeah, you did. Was that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you couldn't do last week.
Last week, yeah. That was a devastating day.
Were you just playing on it and then you just turned it around or something?
Basically, I had it over there because I was comparing my screen to what I just printed, basically. And then as I walked away, I must have just knocked it under the flash and then come back, and the whole keyboard was just one big black bubble. And I was just like, oh, that's the end of that.
I can't even put this on Facebook unless you got your phone.
No, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that would devastate me if I did something like that.
Yeah, well, I took it fairly well, to be fair, because I was like, I hadn't burnt anything under the flash in a very long time, so it may as well have been my most expensive item.
You were due. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, well overdue.
Oh, that's really cool. Well, it looks like a really good setup that you've got going on, especially with the print of the month. I think that's pretty genius. Also, that's that's like self-sustaining as well, isn't it? It's like intuitive. It's kind of like what loads of people did with those self-isolation shirts, like with lockdown and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just kind of carried on.
It kind of came out of lockdown again. It was like, because I was doing it with tattoo artists ish originally, not as a print of the month, but a pre-sale. Like, go on, you show all your friends and all your customers that you're going to make this shirt, get them to buy it, and we'll do that whilst you can't tattoo. And then once obviously lockdown went away and people were allowed to tattoo, I was like, right, I need to adapt this into something else, basically. And yeah, print of the month appeared.
Bloody brilliant. No, genuinely, I'm not thinking I can't take on any more stuff, but like if I've definitely, the pre-sale idea is something that I've sold to a lot of small brands as well, because I'm like, I understand your predicament. I know
exactly
you haven't got the money for this. Yeah, especially having your own brand and stuff. Are you gonna do anything like that? Have your own brand?
I used to, and it was just so hard to get people to buy my shirts, and that's why I ended up printing other people's.
That's really funny. That's so honest. You're like, it's too hard to sell them. It is hard to sell them.
I just gave them away the whole time. It's like, sit on a box of t-shirts for 6 months, and then after that 6 months, I'm not feeling the burn of how much money I spent on them, and I want to see people wearing them, so I'm just dishing them out left, right, and centre in the end. So so it was just sort of, I don't know. I probably will do it again one day, but at the moment, I'll do other people's.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I do get it. Like, you have to like mix and match and just kind of have different revenue streams, and it is more consistent doing client work for sure. Yeah, making sure, like, people think getting your t-shirts printed is the hard bit. It's not. It's definitely the selling of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and if you haven't got that hype right, you're not going to sell them after like a few weeks, because no one's going to.
No, that's it. I've had a brand recently that I printed their first lot this year, and we've already done about 4 or 5 other runs since then, and he just keeps selling out. And he's just running on that hype at the moment. I'm hoping he's going to get pretty big.
What's his account like? Just copy what he's doing.
Well, yeah.
Well, I can copy what he's doing for us.
He's called Have a Good Trip, but the good spelt GD. There's no double O in there. And he's just running on family and good vibes, basically, and love everyone and do all this sort of stuff. And everyone's just gone, yep, I want that. I'm in. Nice. And it seems to be working.
So he's spinning the positivity.
Absolutely, yeah.
Be a more positive person, then you can sell.
That's it. Well, he turned up here for the first, like, we chatted once or twice on Instagram, and he was like, "Oh, I want to come and see your studio," and he was just the smiliest, happiest guy. And I was like, "Yeah, this is cool. Let's go."
I'll give you the shirts for free.
Yeah. Well, he got those shirts made through Alibaba in another country somewhere. He didn't want to buy, your normal blanks. He got them specially made, and
bloody hell.
I think that cost him a fair amount, but they're really nice shirts, so I'll give that to him as well. Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, I haven't heard of going through Alibaba as well. I've like heard from importing like special brands from America and stuff, but
yeah, no, that's it. I was well surprised, and when he told me, I thought, oh no, these are going to be terrible. But no, they were fairly thick, but I think he chose that. But yeah, they're super nice. I've kept one for myself.
Yeah, everything I've got from Alibaba has been brilliant, especially like
I've
bespoke
never trusted
stuff.
it.
Oh, it is scary. Like I've got like thousands of one thing done, and you're like, oh, please Jesus. And then like there's a customer over here, and you're like, oh my god, they're gonna mess it up. But actually, everything that I've got has come through really nice.
That's all right,
I'm
yeah.
a bit scared to do it now because of shipping and customs, which is
I just did some hats for him that he got made, and he said after shipping, the hats per unit was something like £4 to £9.
Yeah.
So he over doubled the cost of each hat just by the shipping. So yeah, I'd avoid it now.
You did them. Did you print on them? Heat press them?
Yeah, they were. That was one of the other things that nearly drove me insane this week. They were like, your sort of like bucket hat, sun hat.
Oh,
and he wanted a print on the top.
Oh, you did those ones on the top like that.
And
I saw that on
they
Instagram.
were not doing what I told them to.
How did you do that? Did you just make a mini pattern?
Yeah, literally took my heat press apart and then made a little mini platen with the rubber on top. But I'm not too adversed with heat pressing, and I think actually this is quite a standard procedure that I didn't know about. But heat press first, then put the transfer on and heat press again.
Yeah,
that took a few spoiled hats for me to work that one out.
Yeah. Get all that moisture and gunk. And
literally, yeah. And then the platen I made wasn't completely level, so I sort of had to press it, lift, turn the platen round, and then press again, so that everywhere it had a bit of pressure. But got there in the end, and I'm actually quite pleased with them. So yeah.
Well done on it. But like, if he's like, "Oh, can I come and see you?" You're like, "No, leave me alone." No, you don't want to see this.
I massively missed the deadline as well. Like, really? He wanted to release them about 3 weeks ago, and I was like, "That's not happening. I need to really work this one out."
That's really funny. Oh, it's really good to like speak to you in person, because I've only like really seen you on the forums and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Just me asking questions.
Yeah. Where are you going now, Starring?
Oh my goodness, I've given up on that. Clearly there's some sort of secret group that buys and sells Nasdaq that I can't get involved in.
Yeah, it's the black market. Like, I'm not shitting you. There are inks now that you can't get because of like European import laws that people are hoarding. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So maybe it's in there. Who knows? If we see it on eBay, like someone selling their studio and they've got loads of Nasdaq, I'll tell you, and you can just
that's it. Yeah, I found it. It's all over there. Like.
Yeah. I've been asking people like who else they'd want me to interview next, and it like helps me kind of like find people that I haven't seen before. Is there anyone who you haven't seen yet?
Have you heard of Squeezed Orange?
Oh, I might follow them, but
he's very local to me, and he's done some of the most technical manual printing I've ever seen.
Oh, that'd be cool.
He does a lot of work for sort of like car clubs and stuff like that. And I love asking him questions, because his prints just look amazing. So I definitely recommend trying to get hold of him. I think he does embroidery as well. Like.
Yeah, I'll snoop for you. Okay, you can say, what's this like? Figure out your setup. What's his pricing structure? Is he a limited company?
He's always been more than happy to tell me everything about his company. He's sound. I really like him, but the printing's just another level.
Awesome. I'll get on to Squeezed Orange, and I'm not going to say the pun that I was about to say. That's awesome. I'm going to retract that.
Save it for the episode.
Yeah, save it for the episode. I'll stop now, Alex. No, that's really awesome. I really appreciate it.
No worries.
Yeah, and I'll see you on the forums like little geeks.
Oh yeah. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, I'll see you in a bit.
Bye. See you later.